No, we actually look at the Lakers, man. We look at the Lakers. The Lakers had they had basically two games. They lost to the Clippers, and now they lost to the Portland Trailblazers back-to-back games, and they find themselves in the seventh seed. Obviously, right? They find themselves in the seventh seed right now, and that's the seventh seed is the play-in, right? The seventh seed is the play-in, and the fact that they're right now at the play-in, that was a big loss for Portland because they lost the tiebreaker to Portland, and Dallas is a division leader. So out of the three, if they have tie records, or they're gonna be the bottom out of the three, which means the seventh seed. So it's tough for them to get out. The seventh seed is going to be like they're gonna have to have a better record than Dallas and Portland, right? So, and that's right now they're 2 games back of Dallas, 1 game back of Portland. So they're gonna have to make up some ground. They're gonna have to win a lot of these games down the stretch. But you know, the Lakers, I know that they're hobbled and stuff like that. Now, again, it comes down to, is LeBron going to be the same LeBron, or is he going to be the LeBron that's hindered by an ankle injury when he comes back? If he's the normal LeBron and stuff like that, I don't think they're really in worry of not making the seventh seed or the eighth seed. Like, so if they're the seventh seed and they are in the play-in, they would have to lose 2 games to not make the playoffs, because 7 and 8 plays. The loser of 7 and 8, sorry, the winner of 7 and 8 gets the 7th seed, right? So they could play the first game and out the gate just solidify the 7th seed, because they'll be playing Golden State as of today, right? Golden State as an 8th seed, and Steph Curry get hot at any time and drop 50, so you don't want to play him. But I'm not too mad. Like, if I'm the Lakers, that I gotta play Golden State, or whatever. I could gap recover. They have some guys who can't shoot, stuff like that. Guys who haven't been in the situation. Maybe the lights are too bright. Oh, you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. So that plays a factor, right? Because it's basically like a game 7, though. So anything can happen. So it's a 50-50 up. It's 50-50 up in the air. But even if they lose that game, then now they play the winner of the 9th and 10th seed for the 8th seed, right? And honestly, to be honest, I think the Lakers actually are probably better off. The Lakers are probably better off actually being in the play-in, because if you look at it, the Lakers were most likely not going to get the 5th seed. Most likely were going to get the 6th seed. And if they had the 6th seed, they would most likely be playing the Clippers. They'd be playing the Clippers in a 3-6 series, right? And you don't want to face the Clippers in the first round. The Clippers actually, out of all the teams in the West, the Clippers are more so made and to beat the Lakers, and they're more so, to me, I think it's guaranteed they beat the Lakers. I don't think that they lose it probably would go 6 or 7, but I don't think they're losing. I think the Clippers are guaranteed beating the Lakers. I think the Clippers kryptonite maybe the Nuggets, then you add maybe other teams, but or maybe something like Dallas or something like that, right? But the Lakers, I think that they guaranteed beat them, even with a healthy LeBron and AD. I felt like that in the bubble as well too. I feel like if they matched up, the Clippers were just better matched up to face them. Playoffs is always about matchups, right? But if the Lakers, if they aren't the 7th seed and they're either 5th or they're either 6th, you're not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that the Clippers are the 3rd seed. They're only 1 game ahead of the Denver for 4th seed. So they could be 3rd, they could be 4th, right? They're not going to be 5th, but they could be 3rd or they could be 4th. So that kind of just will go. You don't want to leave that to chance, because let's say the Lakers do get the 5th seed and then the Clippers aren't 3rd, they drop to 4th seed. Then you face them first round. But if they are, let's say the Lakers are 6th seed and then the Clippers stay at the 3rd seed, then you face them first round. There's always a limbo situation where it's 50-50, where you might just face them. The chances are high where you might face them in the first round. It could happen, right? You don't want to be in that situation. If I'm the Lakers, I would guarantee try and set myself to just be the 7th seed, because if I am the 7th seed, I face Phoenix or I face Utah, because they're kind of going back and forth in the 1 or 2 seed. I face Phoenix or I face Utah, or if I lose the first playing game and I win the second one, I face Utah, the 1st seed. I face the 1st seed or the 2nd seed. And that, to me, if I'm the Lakers and then now I'm ended up not being healthy, I ended up being healthy at the end, and Bron and AD are there, that to me is more of a feasible and a IQ matchup where I could actually potentially win, as opposed to the Clippers in the first round. I'd rather face Phoenix or Utah if I'm the Lakers. Now, Phoenix ain't no joke, right? If I'm the Lakers, I'd rather face Utah, to be honest. Phoenix ain't no joke. But then again, if you're the Lakers, you think maybe we could face Phoenix. They have inexperience. They are, inexperienced. Sorry, they are more so. A lot of guys are in the rookie playoff series. So, you know what I mean? But I don't apply that to Booker because, I don't apply it to Booker. And I don't apply it to some of these guys on Phoenix because they basically had every game like a playoff. Every game was like a seventh game in terms of the bubble in order to have to go 8-0. They had to go a perfect 8-0 just to make the playoffs or make the play-in, right? So, and they did that. So they do have some type of experience relatively, but, at the end of the day, the Lakers are actually beneficial for them to be at the 7th seed. And you're going to see that they're probably going to know that, and you're going to see some 1-2 extra resting and a 1-2 type of things. Maybe it does happen, but, I think that the play-in is actually ideal for the Lakers. And that's something that you haven't heard from people, right? You haven't heard that. You haven't heard, like I think that is actually ideal for them, especially if they want to, avoid the toughest first-round matchup, right? That's beneficial for them. And I know they know it, but we'll see if they actually try and facilitate it or they actually try and, find a way to just be the 7th seed. But again, that wasn't those are 2 bad losses, obviously. But again, it can work out perfectly that they did want those losses so they could be in the 7th seed. So we'll see how it all plays out with the Lakers, all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, like I said, the play-in tournament is something they should want, and that's something where it's just easier. It's just an easier road. It's an easier path, right? It's an easier path. But, anything can happen at the end of the day. And you don't want to see them stay injured and stay hobbled and stay banged up. You want to see LeBron full-fledged in his warm-ups and all that type of stuff, ready to go, no ankle fugaziness, all that type of stuff, 100%. You want to see the same thing with AD, but, the fact that he was trying versus the Blazers, and he was trying, but, it wasn't enough. He's even injured and trying, and, they just don't have no bucket getter at the end of the day. So it became tough. It became crucial trying to get a bucket. And it didn't work out the greatest. So, at the end of the day, the Lakers have some ground to make if they want to get out the play-in, but I would assume that they want to stay in the play-in and just avoid the Clippers in general, man. You already know. Anyways, I appreciate y'all. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here. There's no drought here. You feel me? Just what Elite looks like. Again, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Share, like, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all, man. And I'm out, man.